It's a Ramones kind of night, and I'm going into this one raw as the DVD Ramones. Why can I never just start a show the right way? Why can't I just say, hey, what's up? The show is beginning. Hi, the show is beginning. What's going on? We're talking about Ramones tonight. The Ramones saga continues. We previously discussed some beef between um Mickey, Joey's brother, and Linda, Johnny's wife, right? Um I mean, it's a lot. I don't really feel like if you don't know the backstory, like we already talked about it, I don't need to discuss it again. Go watch that episode previously if you're not fully inundated on what's going on with the beef between the ancient grudge between them. And obviously there's a history there that stems from Joey and Johnny's, the tension between Joey and Johnny as well. Okay. And they're gone now. And now their relatives, their relations are the ones that are carrying on the beef, as they say. So here we are now, but a new wrinkle has developed. But the latest of it though was that Linda and Mickey were, in deep, litigious territory. There were lawsuits and court trials and things going back and forth over Mickey, who was been trying to turn his book that he did with Legs McNeil, I Slept with Joey Ramone, into a movie. I got to tell you, I was really trying to play devil's advocate in that in that episode, in that show, as we were pouring over the material. And I don't know, man, like after this new interesting evidence comes to light, like I don't know how I feel. I don't know what to think. So I'm just going to say, like, I mean, not that I would, like, there's no sides to take in this. I don't know what to believe. I'm trying to make sense of it myself is what I'm trying to get at. I don't know. I honestly don't know. I'm simply presenting what is here, and that's really it. Like there's nothing else to sort of, like, I guess, I don't know, that's what we do. We do commentary. We commentate on what we think, but we don't ultimately know anything. Okay? That's where you need to leave it. So Linda's trying to prevent this movie being made. It's being made with Pete Davidson starring as Joey, and Mickey's trying to push it through. And there was the lawsuit revolved around a partnership between Mickey and this other guy, this manager guy, over the Ramones have a corporation. I mean, that's what happens when your band gets big enough where you have assets, especially when everybody in the band is no longer gone. I mean, the Ramones, basically what's left of the Ramones is a corporation that where you have the secondary members are the only ones left: Richie, Marky, and CJ. That's it, man. Everybody else is gone. They're fucking gone. And the major partnership is between Linda and Mickey because they inherited the estates of the two founding and most enduring Ramones members. In fact, the corporation, it's called RPI. I think it's Ramones Productions Incorporated, something like that. So it's crazy, man. But now, there's a Facebook page called Joey Ramone. I don't know if Mickey runs this page. I would imagine that he does, but why would he post this? I don't know who runs this Joey Ramone page. This is insane shit. Are you ready for this? This is going to blow your fucking mind. It's going to blow your hair back. Boom. The declaration of Christopher Joseph Ward. Holy shit. This looks to be, now, this is allegedly, this is a court document, okay? And allegedly this was made by CJ Ramone, okay? I can't say for certain that. I don't want to sit here and say this is 100% accurate, true, real. Let's say it's 95. We think it's 95% real. especially because Mickey, if you could see, Mickey is off commenting on it on the side. He's not saying it's not an unreal document. The reason why I'm even bringing up that I'm not sure if it's real is because I don't know. I like just want to do my diligence just in case it's not real. I don't fucking know. But this is crazy, crazy shit. Let's listen to what CJ apparently says. This is what CJ apparently says about the whole situation. Are you ready for this? Strap in, folks, because this is crazy shit. Just make sure something. I'm on Wi-Fi right now. Made by CJ Ramone. Yeah, we sound okay. Sorry, I was just checking, just double checking to make sure the stream is good. Declaration of Christopher Joseph Ward. I, Christopher Joseph Ward, CJ Ramone, or CJ Ramone, declare that I am over the age of 18 and I have personal knowledge of the facts set forth below. If called up to testify, I could and would do so competently. So this seems like it's an affidavit of sorts, okay? Point number one. Now we've covered some of those the Misfits court documents from when Jerry and the rest sued Glenn back in, the court battle from 1994. So we've read some court documents in the past. If you want to watch those episodes, they're on the Patreon. So you got to check that out. Secret shows. We're doing this one public. Point one, from 1989 to 1996, I played bass and sang backing and occasional lead vocals for the Ramones and have gone by the stage name CJ Ramone. I am one of 3 surviving members of the Ramones. CJ brought additional legs and longevity into a band that was pretty much ready to fold. With CJ in the mix, they were able to, muster on for a few more years and record a few more albums. So CJ brought new kind of life into the band. Point two, I have known Linda Ramone, Mitchell Hyman, a.k.a. Mickey Leigh. It's funny, Marky Ramone will not call Mickey by his name, Mickey, his nickname, Mickey. He calls him Mitchell. He will only refer to him as Mitchell. There's clearly I don't know what the bad blood is between those two, but I mean, I don't know. And Dave Frey, I want to say personally and professionally for years. Dave is the partner with Mickey, or at least Linda's accused Dave and Mickey of teaming up against Linda. Point three, to me, as a band member, there was only one person that was entrusted to be in charge of the Ramones legacy through RPI after the death of the original 4 Ramones, and that is Linda Ramone. Damn, like sides taken. I personally heard from her husband, Johnny Ramone, that he was leaving his estate for Linda to manage. Johnny specifically told me that Linda would take care of the Ramones' legacy as he wished after he died. Not only did he tell me this many times over the years, he specifically told me this on his deathbed. Point number 4. As to Mickey Leigh, now, something that I heard CJ was quoted saying, I don't remember where it was, but CJ said something along the lines of, I was barred from seeing Joey on his death. When Joey was dying of leukemia in 2001, CJ tried to see Joey and couldn't, or was barred by quote unquote family members. I wonder if there is it sounds like there's bad blood, obviously, between Mickey and CJ. Does that in fact stem from that, that sort of stuff? I've seen CJ live do a Ramones set with Daniel Ray at the Continental on the Lower East Side. It's pretty great. That is the closest I will ever come to seeing the Ramones live, because I was too young. I wasn't too young. I was too young, but I wasn't able to. They broke up when I was 11, and I just was not going to shows when I was 11. Right. So, technically I was old enough to go to a show and see them. Like, if an adult in my life had the wherewithal to do so. I wasn't into the Ramones then, so it never would have happened. I don't know what that has to do with anything. So clearly there might be tension between CJ and Mickey, and the reason why is because of what I just said. And again, I might be slightly having it a little wrong. Somebody correct me if I'm wrong, please. But CJ But CJ, oh, just wait. Eric says, so far, I don't hear CJ beefing with Mickey. It just sounds like he's stating facts as he knows them. I agree. I most certainly agree. But wait for the next one. Ready? I think, Eric, you spoke way too soon. Point 4. As to Mickey Leigh, yes, he is saying it, beef or not or whatever. I put that as in the title because this is the ongoing Ramones beef, whether it's between Linda and Mickey's beef or whatever. But CJ has been thrown into the mix now, man. And yeah, it does sound like he's stating facts. However, it also sounds like, there's a lot of people from a lot of different places and a lot of different camps will be like, Linda Ramone, you know what I mean? So, in any case, point number 4. As to Mickey Leigh, I was personally told by my good friend and bandmate, Joey Ramone, that Joey did not want Mickey to be in charge of the Ramones' legacy. Holy shit. Okay, that's one Ramone being told by another Ramone, hey, I don't want to be in charge of the legacy, whatever, blah, 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 that sort of thing. What's up? Cousin Jody Ramone is here. Thanks to you. And Eric, thank you. That's really nice of you. You're stoked that I still have this channel on the show. Thank you, Eric. I appreciate that, man. Shit. Where were we? Okay, so Joey told CJ, hey, I don't want Mickey in charge of the Ramones legacy. Joey did not want Mickey to have any involvement or say over the band when he was gone. I understand from Johnny that Joey followed through with this. And when Joey died, Joey left his shares in RPI. That's the company that they both own. Remember what I said? RPI? He left those shares to his mom rather than to Mickey. And it's true. Charlotte Lesher, I believe her name was. She was in control of Joey's estate. It was not Mickey until her death. And when she passed away, there was nobody left. Everybody, the only relations, or at least the closest relations, were Mickey. Mickey being the brother, right? CJ says, I also know and remember that Joey expressed that he wanted his brother to have nothing to do with his band when he was alive. Now, what's interesting about that is, listen, whether this is true or not, and I have no reason to believe that it's not true. I mean, it's very possible that it could be true that Joey felt that way. The truth of the matter is, in Mickey's defense, they came to Mickey for stuff. And whenever they came to Mickey for stuff, Mickey obliged. If they needed, help with songwriting, if they needed help with some guitar stuff, Mickey was there. Mickey was a roadie for years in faithful service to the Ramones. So, it's easy to hear that, later on, and we don't know why. Who knows what the details are? Well, we do know what some of the details are, actually, because we heard Mickey talk about it. But CJ is going to elaborate on it a little bit more, and it's kind of damning. It's damning. Joey made it clear to Mickey several times in my presence. Joey made it clear to Mickey. So to Mickey's face, that's what he's saying. Joey made it clear to Mickey several times in CJ's presence that he wanted nothing to do with Mickey. And as long as I knew Joey, he and Mickey were never on good terms. Joey told me he wished Mickey would go away. In addition, during that time I was in the band, Mickey had nothing to do with the Ramones. Now, mind you, after Mickey had Mickey had a bunch of side bands. He did Stop. He had Birdland with Lester Bangs of Cream fame. He had a bunch of stuff, right? There are some people, I won't say who, and I most certainly don't agree with them per se. I do think Mickey is incredibly talented, but they say that Mickey is the more talented brother, which I think is just not right to say at all, because again, Joey Ramone, one of the greatest fucking punk rock vocalists of all time. I mean, the GOAT, you know what I mean? Including his songwriting. So that's not fair to say. It's a sticky situation. And you know what else is sticky? Riot friggin' stickers. That's right. Riot Stickers is the sponsor of tonight's episode. You can get 200 Riot stickers, die cut stickers for $69. We go to riotstickers.com/Frumess. Link is down in the description. Die cut stickers are made with a computer guided scalpel. You make them in the shape of Ramones, Joey Ramone if you wanted, whatever shape you want. So go check out Riot Stickers today. We'll play a little theme song, and we will be right back to read the rest of this insane document. Okay.
We make stickers, banners, and buttons too, posters and promo cards. There's nothing we can't print for you. From stage backdrops to bass drum heads, we can print on shirts, we can print on hats, we can print on pants. Cheap prices and high quality, quick turnaround times and free shipping. We also offer free artwork support, great customer service, and so much more. RiotStickers.com, Riot Stickers, we are the bomb. RiotStickers.com, Riot Stickers, we are the bomb. RiotStickers.com, Riot Stickers, we are the bomb. RiotStickers.com, Riot Stickers, we are the bomb.
All right, and we are back. We have one more sponsor before we continue. This is a personal project of mine that I'm trying to raise awareness about. I made a documentary. It's called Kuyashi Gonzo. It's called Kuyashi Gonzo, Blood Visions, Chaos Magic. I'm going to play the trailer for you real quick. It will eventually be on the YouTube channel. If you are a Patreon or a YouTube member, you can watch Kuyashi Gonzo, a free feature-length documentary in full right now. If you are a Patreon or a YouTube member, please take a moment and watch this very personal Gonzo documentary. It means a lot to me. It's the most personal thing I've ever done. If you do watch it, make sure to rate it on Letterboxd and IMDb and whatnot. I'm going to play the trailer, and we will be right back with more Ramones. Where's that trailer? Who am I? I am nobody. I'm just a guy who is a big fan of the Misfits. I also am a filmmaker. I have, in a month, a fucking huge shoot coming up. One of the biggest of my life. I was scared to do it again because the first time I made a movie, it almost didn't come together.
What's so funny? It's just your grandson feeding you baby food.
If I didn't complete this feature film, it would have been the end of the world for me.
You got the shot.
Pain is temporary, film is forever.
The process on one hand feels this impossible mountain to climb. Is this my great downfall? And you kind of gulp and you go, okay, well, time to climb the next mountain. And that's kind of like what life is. We'll take it a shooting day at a time. We're going to get magic.
It's gonna be like fucking Magic Johnson.
Leave. Get out. Ah! The anxiety is unpleasant and uncomfortable. The fear is a very healthy one. That's growing.
This tastes like sand, fucking mud.
Mediocre. No, when in doubt, when you don't know what you're doing, just make everything blue.
You need this humility to be like, maybe you can't do this.
Or red.
Which leads me to go, well, I'm going to try my goddamn best to.
Or a combination thereof. Just go Suspiria.
Wouldn't be a micro-budget independent film without a hallucination scene, right?
You also throw up some nice chunky chunks. You got no problem eating oatmeal?
Oh, shit! Oh, man, I'm sorry!
You look like fucking Ash.
After today, what percentage would you say we're at?
We don't have enough action scenes.
I think we're at about half.
This is supposed to be the finale of the film.
You might be right. We
just be
might have
halfway.
half of the movie.
There's nothing to talk about until there's a movie in the can.
This is your Frank Booth gun.
Shove, 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 punch, punch, punch.
There's a scene waiting to be revealed within the footage.
Take down with the headlock.
Like a block of marble waiting to become a sculpture.
And then no, don't do it or whatever. And then... And I'm spent!
I'm in uncharted territory right here.
I don't even know what we're doing.
A fork in the road. Isn't this what happened to Dante when he encountered Virgil?
Like, I kind of know. I have an idea.
I feel like a failure. I was not expecting to be where I am at 35.
I've never been so broke in my life.
I'm feeling a lot of self-pity.
This thing could be taken from me at any moment.
And yet, for some reason, I'm happy.
Only fail if you give up.
Tonight, we dined in hell. This journey is one of the most profound lessons of my life. All right. We are back now. We're talking Ramones tonight. It's a Ramones themed show tonight. We all love the Ramones themed shows. Take it away, CJ. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right. So we're talking about how CJ is basically breaking down what the dealio is when it comes to the Mickey and Joey and just all things. It sounds like Linda went to CJ and was like, "I need you to testify." And CJ, it seems like CJ had a good relationship with Joey, but he was also very beholden to what's his face to Johnny. He looked up to Johnny and whatnot. So it's, I guess, his relationship with Linda has endured enough where she feels, hey, I want to come to you and be like, hey man, like I need you to speak out against Mickey and whatnot. So that's what's happening right now. Point number 5. We're at point number 5, where Joey also personally told me that his brother tried to sue him, alleging that Mickey was somehow part of the creative process or songwriting of the Ramones when he was not. Now, I don't know about that lawsuit. I don't know if that is a lawsuit. What he could be referring to, CJ, he could be referring to what Mickey wrote about in his book. Mickey, and I got to tell you, I like I Slept with Joey Ramone. It's definitely like it's his point of view of his relationship with his brother. And the thing that I don't like about I Slept with Joey Ramone, 2 things I don't like about it. One, Joey's not alive to sort of weigh in on what his brother is essentially writing the history of his brother. And mind you, if anybody's going to write the history of Joey Ramone, it might as well be his brother who was there from the fucking beginning, right? However, considering their tumultuous relationship, it gives an opportunity for Mickey to sort of, put pen to paper without any kind of objection from Joey, because Joey's not around to speak for himself. So it's a mixed bag in that regard. There's one part of the book that I felt so uncomfortable reading. I felt so cringe. I'm sorry, Mickey, but it did. I just couldn't wrap my mind around the fact that it really felt kind of under the belt, in the sense that why are you talking about this, especially after your brother's dead? I don't know. He basically was trying to explain how he felt that he was entitled to a bit of the money that they got from Blitzkrieg Bop in the early 90s. They got about $100,000 for either it was a commercial or was something to use Blitzkrieg Bop. And because Mickey, and I'm pretty sure it was Blitzkrieg Bop was the song, it might have been a different song. Mickey did the hand claps. He did the hand claps on that song, or one of the songs, in the studio on the Ramones self-titled. And because he played on the track, he felt that some of that money should have been spread around to him. And it wasn't. They split it 4 ways. They each got $25K, I guess, before fees and taxes, or I don't know, maybe the 100 was, they made $100,000 after fees and taxes. Who knows? And Mickey, mind you, I haven't read this book in a long time, and I'm paraphrasing here. Mickey was very sour grapes about it. I don't remember if there was any lawsuits over it, but it was definitely a rough point of contention between his brother. And now here he is, after his brother's death, trying to justify and rationalize and explain the situation. And it just comes off cringe. It does. It really does. I felt uncomfortable reading it. I was not down with it. Now, CJ is saying something slightly different here. He's saying that Mickey actually tried to sue him because he was a part of the creative process writing Ramone songs. Mickey did help write Ramone songs, but it was, I guess, I don't know if he was paid or what the arrangement was. He did help. He did contribute stuff. In fact, Mickey had there were tracks, like sibling rivalry tracks and some other stuff that was put on Ramone's bootlegs, mistaken for Ramone's songs when they were songs between him and his brother. So I don't know this is where Linda's Linda's and CJ's teeth come out. Like, I don't know who, I don't know. I don't fucking know. I don't. I mean, it's worth looking into more. I couldn't find anything. I did a little bit of digging. CJ continues, I do recall an excerpt from Mickey's book alluding to Mickey's alleged part in the creation of the song Pinhead. See, I don't remember that from the book. I am personally bothered by the fact that these assertions about Ramone's history are being put forth after those individuals are no longer with us to dispute it. I would agree with that. I am confident Joey would have disputed it as he did when he was alive. So, I mean, like, listen, whether Linda is bending that, pushing CJ to do this or whatever the situation is, like the reality is like CJ is speaking his truth here. Like, this is what CJ believes, and he's doing it allegedly in a sworn affidavit. Crazy White Boy says, the Ramones were always so fun and great to see live. Matt John is here. He's given us some skulls, and Mushroom Leg says, hey, Jeff, happy Friday, sir. Listen, you can wish me happy Friday all you want. Just know that there are no free drinks. This show does not come with free drinks, only Porto chips with the paprika inside of the ridges. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, maybe your throat isn't greasy enough to handle what I'm saying. And if that disturbed you, what I just said, then just don't worry about it. Just go watch The Greasy Strangler. Point number 6. I'm aware that Mickey is attempting to make a movie about his brother based on his book, I Slept with Joey Ramone. I am confident that Joey would have never wanted Mickey to write such a book, and certainly would never have wanted his story being told by his brother. Damn. Fucking, I mean, this is hard cutting shit from another member of the Ramones. I mean, this is friggin', I mean, just bad blood all around. Point number 7. In my opinion, the person who is in charge of the Ramones legacy through RPI should be constantly and consistently working in the best interest of the band as a whole, and those whose legacy they are caring for would have wanted. Johnny believed that was Linda. Joey believed that it was his mom. Now, here's the flip side of that. I do believe that Johnny believed that it was Linda, and Linda is in charge, and hey, it is what it is. Joey put his mother in charge, and she was in charge, and things were run by them as the major shareholders, Linda and Charlotte. They held it down. But here's the thing. Joey didn't have a wife, and Joey didn't have children. And Joey's mother was older. She died. So eventually it was going to go to the brother, and there was no provision unless Charlotte made it so. It's very possible that Joey did have something that said, hey, I don't want my brother anywhere near this stuff. And then maybe after Joey was gone, Charlotte changed it because it's like, hey, what am I going to do? Who am I going to give this to when I go? Either which way, there were no heirs, and therefore it had to go to someone. It had to go to someone in the family. It went to Mickey. It went to Mickey. And Linda is basically, now here's the other thing too about point 6. I'm aware that Mickey is attempting to make a movie about his brother based on his book, I Slept with Joey Ramone. I thought about what, I was sort of a little harder on Linda in the previous episode when we were talking about this. I will say this. Any book, I was like, yeah, Mickey has a right to make a movie about his brother, who is a public figure, who happens to be a band member of the part of the Ramones. But I think I see her side of the story. I see her point of view too. It's like Joey is the lead singer of the Ramones. The Ramones are a band that features 3 other people who have a right to their publicity, alive or dead, their estates. There has to be more consideration. You can't just compartmentalize your life when you're so interconnected with these other 3 individuals. So the idea of adapting this particular bend on history, which we just discussed, was Mickey has clearly got a particular bend on history that maybe it's not the best option. Point number 8. So the fact that Joey believed that it was his mom, like to be the best to run the legacy, that's a moot point. That's not, that doesn't make any sense. I mean, that doesn't matter because the reality is like, Joey didn't leave any other like if that was really the case, he would have had more provisions, right? It would have been more provisions with that. He would have put some sort of infrastructure in place that didn't put his brother in charge eventually, or some sort of additional provision that wouldn't allow the mom to make that change if there was such a provision in the first place. Notice how this is all speculation. I do not actually know. That's what we do. I'm just a guy on the internet speculating. Point number 8. What I do know is that at a time when interest in the Ramones is abundantly prevalent through multiple interviews with bands influenced by the Ramones, Martin Scorsese's previous interest in a Ramones movie, that would have fucking kicked fucking ass, man. Would have loved that. Inclusion of the Ramones in the new punk rock museum, etc. My income, CJ saying this, my income from RPI and its affiliated companies has steadily dwindled. So despite all the interest in the Ramones, and the Ramones have, I mean, when the Ramones were alive, people did not give a shit the way that people have given a shit now with the Ramones long dead. I mean, it really has jumped up. They've become such a legendary and important band, so much more so than when they were alive. So the idea here is that, CJ's like, hey, I'm like, my income from RPI and its affiliated companies has steadily dwindled. Like, what's going on? Like the management is not doing so well, right? Like this doesn't work, right? As to this point, I firmly believe that Dave Frey is the cause of the downfall in profitability. That's Mickey's partner guy that he's teaming up with against Linda. I base this assertion on knowing him when he represented Linda and knowing him when he represented Mickey. From these meetings, I do not believe he was ever working in the best interest of the Ramones legacy and therefore was not working in the best interest of RPI. Super interesting thing to say. And also, I guess, motivation as to like why to speak out on this too, a little bit, since it seems that Mickey is doing everything that he can to battle Linda over, control. And it's true. Like, I think a judge said, I think we talked about this in the last one. A judge was like, what are you guys fucking fighting? Like, you guys should be focused on making money. There's a lot of money to be made and, keeping the legacy alive and this, that, and the other, whatever you want to say. I mean, everybody wins, right? Like the legacy lives on, the brand lives on, the Ramones live on, and their heirs basically never have to work a fucking day in their life again. Here's the last page. Point number 9. I am providing this declaration freely and voluntarily, and I understand that I am under no obligation to do so, nor have I been provided with any incentive or compensation to sign this declaration, nor have I been coerced or threatened. And that was on the 24th of January, 2024 in Martinez, California. He declared under penalty of perjury under the laws of the United States and state of New York that the foregoing is true and correct. I will say, what I really respect about CJ? CJ was offered the spot in Metallica. Did you guys know this? CJ was offered a spot in Metallica, the bass playing spot, after Jason Newsted left. So this was right around, in the early 2000s. And CJ could have been the new bass player for Metallica, and he turned it down. He turned down millions of dollars. And the reason why is because his son has autism. And he was told, I read this in an interview, he was told that if he, with a lot of hands-on care and, attentiveness and this, that, and the other, he could really set up his son. His son could have a chance at like more autonomy, like a normal autonomous life, not that he would have more autonomy in his life. That's basically the best way to say it. And so he, knowing that if he signed up to be in Metallica, that he would just never be around, never be home, and that he wouldn't be able to be there for his son, he turned down the spot in Metallica to take care of his autistic son, who he said in the interview is flourishing. Absolutely flourishing. CJ, who does not talk to Marky, they have beef too. CJ married Marky's niece. So Marky and CJ are technically family, like family. They divorced, but Marky's great niece and nephew are CJ's children. So they are connected by family. It's sad that none of these guys talk. You would think that CJ and Marky would just go out and just do a Ramones set with like Richie. They could do that. They literally could do that. They could be out touring the world on Ramones music and making Marky already does it. He does it already. I don't know. Let's see what now. We want to flip back here because Mickey has actually commented. Oh, wait, what? What is? Oh, is that another thing? I also know that Joey expressed he wants probably nothing to do. Yeah. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, this is okay. So this is definitely Marky. This must be Mickey Leigh's thing because here is an advertisement for the Joey Ramone birthday bash. So Mickey wanted this to be seen. Mickey was the one who leaked this, I guess. Mickey put this out there, right? This is what Mickey says in the comments here. So Mickey is the one who wanted to see. Point 3. To me as a band member, there was only one person that was entrusted. He's quoting the document. There was only one person that was entrusted to be in charge of the Ramones legacy through RPI after the death of the 4 original Ramones, and that is Linda Ramone. Okay, Ramones fans, ... What's wrong with that line? And then he comments further. I guess nobody see it. To me as he's quoting it again, and then he goes after the death of the 4 original members. And that is Linda Ramone. And he goes equals after the death of the 4 original members. Tommy didn't die until 2014. So according to what CJ is saying, Linda was entrusted to be in charge. I'm in charge, Linda's favorite words, 9 years before the death of the 4 original Ramones. Did she forget 3rd grade math? That's kind of, that's his rebuttal to that. John Herb asks Mickey, didn't you play on Joey's solo album? It seems odd that he'd freeze you out so hard. And Mickey responds, which one? If you're talking about the first one, he was still working on it when he was in the hospital and told me he wanted me to come and do something on it. But as some of us know, he didn't make it out. It wasn't him who was trying to freeze me out, though. That album became the property of my mom. She was thrilled when she heard him say that he wanted me to do something on it. And she certainly wasn't going to freeze me out. He wasn't considering it to be nearly finished yet at that point. He was still considering different songs for it. Our manager, Dave Frey, and I let Daniel, I guess that's Daniel Ray, finish what he had there. And then we listened to it. And I wasn't going to force it. I wasn't going to force myself onto it against the producer's wishes. But if I had heard something I thought could be improved, I wasn't going to let him stop me. I played a little guitar and added some vocals on the song Don't Worry About Me. And Joe Blaney mixed that one song. Joey had no title for it at all, and I thought calling it Don't Worry About Me seemed calming, considering the circumstances. So I proposed the title, and it got the thumbs up. I chose the photo taken by his good friend, George Seminara, of Joey on his couch for the cover. That seemed calming also. It's funny that some people think that album was finished and released before he passed away, that I had nothing to do with it. So they're like, that one. So they like that one, but they didn't like the other one because it's his brother taking the songs Joey rejected. That's what I've always felt personally, what he's saying right now. Yeah, I kind of feel like that's what happened. Taking the songs that Joey rejected and releasing them for a cash grab. It's always something, but I love that album. Ed Stasium did an amazing job with it. Some of my favorite songs Joey wrote are on there. Like New York City, at the end of the day, whether it is a cash grab or not, whether Joey would have wanted it or not, Joey's gone. And there's a lot of Ramones fans out there. We all would like to hear anything, anything that would be out there. I think it's okay to release that stuff. Why the fuck not? What, it should stay unreleased? So if you don't want to include it in the canon, don't. but the fact that it's out there for people to listen to and enjoy, I appreciate that. I didn't at first, but I do now. I do now. So yes, I did think it was a cash grab, but I think it also serves a purpose. So it kind of all balances out. Ed was happy to let me work on it when he got to about 80% done. I went out to his house in Durango and we finished it there, of course. There was some Ramones drama involved with that too. We'd asked Marky to play on a song or two, and he said he wanted to, but couldn't because someone from the other side didn't want him playing on the album. So somebody in Linda's camp, maybe, or play at the Joey birthday bash, or have me on his radio show to interview me about the book I Slept with Joey Ramone that had just come out. He said that he liked it and wanted to have me on, but he was afraid it would cause trouble for him. Oi, Jesus. Another power play. The competition is fierce, and the winner is I don't give a fuck. So he's saying that so I guess Marky was kind of in the middle, but clearly, I don't know, there was some sort of falling out because when Marky's book came out, Blitzkrieg, that's when he refers to Mickey Leigh as Mitchell, his brother Mitchell, coldly, very, very coldly. Let me see what else. There was another. I'm not believing this to be true. Sorry, brother, introduce you and your brother shows a memory card to play on MTV. Hold on. There's one other thing here. Mickey partied with Mickey Leigh says here, Mickey partied with Joey throughout the blurry 1980s as Joey and the rest of the band dealt with substance abuse, disappointment from a lack of commercial success, and tension stemming from Johnny Ramone stealing Joey's girlfriend. The two bandmates never spoke to each other again, despite sharing a stage and cramped van for 15 long years. Mickey recounts the time where he and Joey bickered and wouldn't speak for lengthy periods, sometimes because of problems unique to their punk rock life, sometimes for reasons common to brothers everywhere. But when he recounts Joey's last months in the hospital, the bond they shared is undeniable. I will say, when you read between the lines here, and I don't want to take away Mickey's truth that he has for his brother, when you read between the lines, it sounds like they really were out of each other's lives for a while, and not until the end they sort of reunite. And I believe, remembering the book, I believe that there was, I should really reread the book. To his kid brother, he was towering hero, Mickey concludes, not just because he was Joey Ramone, but because he was so much more. He's quoting an article from the New York Post. He was the ultimate underdog who soared to a place far beyond mere overachievement. I mean, for whatever that beef they had or whatever jealousy Mickey might have had or sour grapes, in posthumously, he has shown great love to his brother. I don't know. It's a complicated situation. I don't want to vilify Mickey entirely. I don't want to vilify Linda entirely. It's difficult. I mean, there are stories about both of them being incredibly difficult people. Sorry, I'm really thirsty. Let's see if there's anything else here that's really worth highlighting. And then we'll go to the comments. Oh, here's another one. This is amazing how Facebook just allows you to see stuff. Joshua Miller says, I've watched many interviews with CJ, and he always mentioned that Johnny was the main guy to handle the control of the Ramones. Putting Linda as the main caretaker is only natural. I have nothing but respect for him. And then Mickey Leigh says, they had an accountant, a manager, a business manager. It's a myth. Though John did have a little book, he wrote the attendance of the shows in and what they got paid. Takes a brilliant businessman to do that. Yeesh. He also says, and Joshua Miller, I guess it would be natural to make Edith Bunker the foreman of the loading dock when Archie dies. Mickey can be really funny, sarcastic. All right, this is an interesting one. Ready? Here's an interesting comment. Chris Smith says, trying to ride a neutral line here, so please nobody come after me with a pitchfork, LOL. I've always liked Mickey, and CJ is one of my favorite bassists and one of the coolest musicians I've ever met. That being said, I don't see how this necessarily matters one way or the other. Obviously, there is information out there saying Joey and Mickey did get along, But like any siblings, they could get along one week and possibly not the next. People and their thoughts, opinions also may change. So even if Joey said they weren't close or getting along, that doesn't mean they never would again. Lastly, most importantly, though, the Ramones weren't just Johnny's band. That being said, Joey did have a share in the say so, and still would if he were Alice. If he were Alice, whether Linda likes it or not, I don't know what that means. When he passed, his say so would have gone on to whoever he willed to or closest of kin. I'm assuming Charlotte. Past that, it really doesn't matter. If she wanted to sell her rights to Johnny Rotten, it was her right to do so. When she passed, her next of kin, being Mickey, would have gotten her estate and presumably her share of the Ramones. Linda deciding that she doesn't like that or CJ saying he disagrees with that is irrelevant unless there is legal documentation somewhere from Joey preventing Mickey from having a say so. I mean, yeah, but he's essentially saying what I was saying before, right? I'm very curious to hear what Mickey says in response to this. Joey preventing Mickey from having a say so, unless blah, 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 he knew there was a very good chance. Okay. Unless Joey thought that his mother would live forever, he knew there was a very good chance of Mickey getting his estate in the long run, unless he put in writing that he wanted to avoid it at all costs. We said this. This is what we said, which is true. Once it became Charlotte's, it was hers to leave to whoever she wanted. Absolutely true. Whether Joey's best friend or Joey's arch enemy. Very, very true, man. Let's see what let's see how Mickey responded to that, because he did respond. He says, Chris Smith, not that it's any of her business, but she, in every one of her interviews, says at least twice, Johnny left everything to me, Joey left everything to his mother, because she thinks that it will show people that she's the only real authentic owner. She pushes that line to try and give the impression that I'm less qualified or deserving, and to show people that she's superior to me in this company. I mean, Mickey and Linda, boy, fuck, just like bitter fucking enemies, man. She says it in interviews. Joey didn't even like his brother. And if he thought about it, he never would have let his brother have his shares. My mother heard her say something that compelled her to write a note for me to show as proof of what my brother wanted. I never told this story publicly. Wow. About 6 weeks before he died, my brother told my mom and me that he wanted to change his will to put me in it. I told him it would mean bringing lawyers in and it would be a strain on him. And I knew he was saying that because he was starting to have doubts about his survival. And I didn't want to ever think about that, and I didn't want him to. So my mom and I talked it over that night, and we all knew what was going to happen, of course. My brother knew that it was going to come to me. We all knew that, and we all knew what was going to happen. Of course, my brother knew that it was going to come to me. But yes, if he didn't want it to, because he hated me so much, he could have easily stipulated that in his will. Duh. And I never thought that I would ever have to produce this note, she wrote, but underestimated the maliciousness of this woman, Linda. It's interesting that he's doing this in a Facebook comment. Like if this is like illegal, if there's like legal stuff going on, like why is he doing this? This is weird that he's even doing this. She uses my brother's will and my family as weapons against me. The cold-blooded way she treats people, the way she feels no remorse about punishing John's mother, yet has the nerve to, years after she died, start posting photos of her, John, and Stella, John's mom, sitting on a couch and post it on Mother's Day with hearts. I knew Stella since I was 14 years old. It was fucking horrible what that woman did to her. He's talking about what Linda allegedly did to Johnny's mom. Intentionally pushing an 80-year-old woman who has cancer and had to work as a cashier in a supermarket. She would call me crying. It was so infuriating. My friend Ira and I were about to go visit her, but it was too late. I just don't know how someone can treat an elderly. Yeah. I forget where we heard this. Maybe it was in the previous thing that John's mom needed money and that she was hard, that there were times where she was kind of hard up for money, allegedly, something like that. I didn't. This is not the first time I'm hearing this, though. I just don't know how someone can treat an elderly woman that way. The mother of the man you supposedly love. I've had it. I'm not going to protect this sadistic sociopath by keeping her foulness inside my mouth any longer. And then he produces a note, and it's like, this is a weird thing to do on Facebook. If this document really means something, shouldn't this be in like a court? This is what it says. When Jeff was in the hospital sometime in March 2001, he said that he wanted to change his will to include his brother in it. And what's super weird, like, okay, so there's nothing, it doesn't say Charlotte. There's no date. It's just a scribbling. So, like, Mickey, I don't want to take away from what you're I don't want to take away from the moment here, but like this is such like a weird random note with there's not enough information there. So strange. This whole thing is so strange. Man, I wonder what Marky has to, that's what I really want to know. Okay, so this is what Don Burba, this is a comment, take this with a grain of salt. This is what he says. CJ personally told me at the Punk Rock Museum, I guess, doing tours and whatnot, right? CJ personally told me at the Punk Rock Museum, the band's legacy was fucked from the time they walked off the stage to today due to Johnny and Joey making bad business deals. Said the whole Radioactive label blew up and they lost millions after they refused the Epitaph record deal. Now, we did a whole episode about how the Ramones almost were on Epitaph and what that could have done for their career. And they ended up going with Radioactive, which was their manager's label. And they wanted to do it because it was just the easiest thing to do. But it really did fuck them. And you know what it was? They were going to get a large advance up front, and they were thinking more about the advance than they were thinking about legacy and thinking about just a lot of things. He also told me, this is what the guy is saying. He also told me that was when he was done after John and Joe screwed him out of his millions. So I'm putting 2 and 2 together, and CJ must be getting a kickback from Linda, it looks like, even though he's legally not supposed to, from the affidavit that he's not being whatever. It's Mickey's book. His story. This person says it's Mickey's book. It's his story, and he should have the right to do it. Except it's his story about his brother. And again, there are 3 other individuals that are tied to this story. There's too much connective tissue. I've really changed my mind about that. It's you know what it is? There's no right or wrong answer, but it's not cut and dry. It's just not a cut and dry situation. That's the thing. It's just not cut and dry, man. This guy Ray says, sounds like his brother is trying to milk Joey for money even after death. Let's see what Mickey says to that. Probably something snarky. Mickey responds. Damn, Mickey responds to everything. That's not his takeaway. It's a fact. Not only CJ was getting 0, Tommy was getting 0 also. Dee Dee 0, Marky was getting 0, CJ 0, Richie 0. One of the lawsuits Linda talks about in her interviews, she says, I filed against her, even though my mom was still alive and was the executor of Joey's estate, plus the 50% owner shareholder. She had me doing everything with Dave, our manager, for her. She knew I knew the music business better than her, but we explained things to her and she made those decisions. She had to sign off on things, not me, but Linda lies and says that I sued her 3 times. Another lie. In 2002-3, I pushed John to bring his and my mom's percentage down so that we could cut the others in. I got them a decent percentage when they were getting nothing. John passed away before the band members' agreements could get signed. And then Linda came in and said she wasn't going to give them nothing and refused to sign the agreements. How could they not be getting nothing? How is Marky? You're telling me Marky's not getting Ramones money? That CJ, I mean, they got to be getting something. CJ says that my money is dry, that my earnings have been low, but he's got to be getting something. Hence, my mom had to take legal action to force her to comply. She didn't want to give them a penny, or should I say, or I guess maybe it did happen. Maybe they are getting a penny, or I should say, she wanted to give them what she gave John's mother. I might get in trouble for saying this, but I don't care anymore. I am determined to stop the bullshit and stop the effing lying. I've had it from suffering from her sickness. So he's claiming that she tried to screw the other guys out of money and that I don't know, that they were pushing back hard. Adrian says, I don't comment usually, but this really doesn't belong on Joey Ramone's Facebook page. And Mickey responds, I mean, Mickey is ratioing every one of these comments. So everybody is just jumping to Mickey's defense here. Well, he says, well, someone's defaming lie that I threatened to expose a non-existent SCX tape my brother took of her. Oh, shit. Wait, what? Someone's defaming lie that I threatened. Okay, so Linda's accusing Mickey allegedly that there is a non-existent sex tape to expose that Joey had taken of her if she doesn't obey my demands, doesn't belong in the New York Post page. Okay, so I guess I didn't know about this. There's some article that's talking about this alleged sex tape. And considering the circumstances, my heart tells me that he'd be more than agreeable to have his page be used to help to protect not only his family, but his own legacy. If she gets away with this lawsuit somehow, there's a possibility a judge could order me to sell her my shares, which would leave my brother's legacy in the hands of a woman who was living with him and shopping for diamond engagement ring with him while she was fucking his guitarist. Do you think he would want her handling his legacy? I mean, Jesus fucking Christ, dude. And you know what's crazy? Like, again, like what the fuck to believe here? I'm not saying that like what Mickey's saying is not inaccurate at all. I'm just saying like it's just both sides are like launching these crazy accusations. She's saying there's that she's being blackmailed. He says, that her lawsuit is fake and that, he's battling for the Ramones' existence here. It's like, whoa. Didn't Joey do a few songs with Mickey? Then why does CJ appear on the birthday bashes that Mickey organizes? I don't know what to believe. Mickey Leigh says, yeah, I've been wondering how the hell does someone does that also? Yeah, fuck. I mean, it's true. CJ did do those birthday bashes, and that was through Mickey. Douglas says, maybe CJ is getting a kickback. I wonder what Marky and Richie have to say about it. I know Johnny and Joey were not on the best terms, but I never heard anything bad about Joey and Mickey. And Mickey responds, Richie was speechless. All he could say was that I'm sick to my stomach. Wow. So Richie probably is going to do one of these things too. And I guess we'd have to hear what he'd have to say, but he wasn't around when CJ was around. CJ was around later. So who knows? Does what CJ says hold more weight than maybe what Richie says? Because Richie was only around for a few years in the mid 80s when perhaps this isn't as crucial. Just trying to see if there's any other. Oh my God, there's a lot more comments. Hold on. We're at the hour, guys. So I'm gonna call this one. Let me just scroll down. I'll check the comment. I'm gonna go through our comments in a minute. Let's see if there's anything else from Mickey. All this other stuff doesn't really matter, I don't think. Here we go. Here's a Mickey response. Brian Allegar says, 20 years after 3/4 of the original lineup passed away, the drama remains alive and well in the Ramones camp. Mickey says, man, this Ramones drama you're talking about is theirs, not mine. I hung out with my brother and Angela and Monty and Ed Stacy. Monty Melnick is who we've had on this channel. I would love to hear what his thoughts are on all of this. We hung out all the time and had tons of fun with each other. Great times. I had nothing to do with the drama and want nothing to do with the drama now. It's the only reason all this trouble is happening. Figure it out. I mean, shit. I don't know. I don't feel like Linda would be any much better. Like, here's the end of the day. Linda or Mickey. Like, I don't think Linda would be necessarily better than Mickey. You know what I mean? So it's like, I don't know, man. Like, I don't, This isn't good. It just isn't good all around. What would be best is if Linda and Mickey and CJ and Marky and Richie all had a place at the table. If Monty was involved, Monty, who was there just as much at the beginning, should have some sort of say, even though he was not in the band. Like the fact that he knew everybody, he is a good arbiter of the legacy, man. All right. Here's one last Mickey reply. Mickey Leigh actually phoned Richie, who was kicked out of the Ramones for purposely being a no-show for two Ramones shows on home turf NYC shows because he wanted more money and a share of memorabilia profits. Richie was filling in while Marky was getting control of his drinking issues. Mickey went over to the production of one of Joey's solo albums and asked Richie to play on drums on his Don't Worry About Me album on a few songs after Joey had passed. It was very disgraceful and disrespectful to Joey. I don't think he ruined Joey's, studio album that way. Okay, Mickey is really pissed off about this one. Let's see what he says. Ready? What the fuck are you talking about? You come here insulting me with what sounds like a drug-induced hallucinations and pure bullshit about Richie filling in for Marky when he was getting control of his drinking issues? You mean he was getting control of his alcoholism when he was driving cars into storefronts and almost killing a bunch of children? Mark got thrown out of the band because he was so drunk he missed a show and cost the band thousands. He only got back into the Ramones because Richie quit. You heard me ask Richie to play drums on Don't Worry About Me? You insult people with nasty lies and call me disgraceful and disrespectful? I got enough problems. Get lost, please. Wow. Wow. Dude. That is something else. All right, let's take a look. Let's see what some people say here. We had a couple of things. Matt John says, that's sad, but I'm glad Joey is still a saint. He is, like Strummer. They're all saints. They're all saints. So is Johnny Thunders. And separately, on a separate note, I'm sad about Fishbone too. I don't think they're broken up. I think there's a chance that they'll come back together. They're just fractured. Fractured is the best way to say it. Big fan of the page. Keep it going. I'm trying, Pat. I'm doing what I can, Pat. All good Ramones go to heaven. Pat says, this is off topic, but I watched the Robin Hood show. How do I get the other guest speakers' YouTube pages? Just search Eddie Villa and read Cloud. Their names. It's literally just their names, and it's there. Mushroom Leg says, there's always two sides of a story. Truth is usually in the middle. How about this? I'll do you one better, Mush. There's one side of the story, there's another side of the story, and then there's the truth, right? And the truth is generally the hardest one to see if you're on one of the two sides. That's my Jerry Springer thought for this evening. My name is Jeff. I hope you enjoyed this update. We might have more updates to come. We might not be done talking about this, especially if something, maybe Marky will say something. Marky, I really want to hear what Marky has to say, and who knows? So keep your eyes. So what do you think? What do you think about this whole situation? Is there a side that you lean towards? Do you lean towards Mickey's side more? Do you lean towards Linda's side more? What do you think should happen? Michelle agrees with me. Michelle Lowry. She says, well said. Thank you, Michelle. What do you think? Let me know in the comments. Make sure you haven't. Guys, listen, make sure to go check out the trailer. If you didn't see the trailer, go check out the trailer on my homepage on YouTube for Kuyashi, Gonzo, Blood Visions of Chaos Magic. Please like the video. Leave a comment. Let's boost that trailer in the algorithm. Make sure you like this video as well. I don't know. That's all I got. Peace, hair grease. We'll see you next time.